Hello, and welcome to Daily Dose of Egyptian. Today we'll be reading The Tale of the Shipwrecked Sailor, a Middle Egyptian literary text found on Papyrus Hermitage, or Papyrus Leningrad 1115. We'll be reading the text from the transcription given by Allen in his 2015 Middle Egyptian Literature, and from the transcription published by Golenchiev in 1913. We'll begin. Jed in Shemesu Ika. Waja ibek khati'a. Right off the bat, we begin with some grammatical ambiguity with this saying by. Now, I read this as jed as an infinitive, followed by in, the preposition, denoting agency, so by. So a saying by. Or this could be interpreted as a sejm in f form. Now, a sejm in f form is a narrative verbal form in Middle Egyptian, which denotes consecutive action in narrative texts. So, for instance, in autobiographies, you'll see when in blah blah blah, which really means then X happened. Now, because this is the very beginning of the text, I favor this first interpretation as it being a saying by. However, note that this second option is possible. So, a saying by the excellent follower. Now, Ika has a wide range of meanings. Literally, it means efficient or excellent. It really means that you're good at your job, or possibly that you're trustworthy as a retainer in this context. And that is what a shemesu is. So, shemesu, at its core meaning, is a retainer. That is somebody who is in the court in whatever kind of role. And here I wish to illustrate two examples of what being a shemesu is. So, for instance, we have the Asiut grave of Jeff Happy, where he says, shemesu is an infinitive, so followed the king on his travels, a very common motif, where courtiers say that they followed the king on his journeys. Likely in his sort of following as he did whatever as a courtier. We have another interesting example of what a shemesu does from Keti, the stele of Keti, where there's lacuna, so something. So, a missing bit of the text. And then it says districts. And I created for them, that is the districts, borders, as that is done, or that which is done, here is relative form, by a wise follower. So as is done by a wise follower. So here we have a direct example of what a shemesu does. Here he's establishing or creating borders, which is not something any low-level person would do. So I just want to stress that shemesu is quite an open-ended role. Now we have an exhortation. May your heart be whole, literally. So waja here is a subjunctive sejm f. Waja is most commonly encountered in the epithet ankh waja seneb, which follows the names of kings. And it means to be intact or whole. But in the phrase waja ibek, it really means may you be happy. It's a greeting. And so this could possibly just be translated as greetings. Count. Hatia is count. And Hatia is another open-ended title because it can mean anything from mayor to count to prince. I choose the translation count because it's the most intermediary of all of those. But Hatia can, again, mean really any person who's medium to high level in secular administrative hierarchies. So you can see that there's ambiguity in the two titles being used, whether that's intentional or not, and the power levels and the hierarchies between those two can be explored more by the reader as we continue on with more of the text.